He says, people are so caught up on color. Features matter more than color. Her features, referring to you, aren't European or are not European. Her skin is fair, but her features betray her. Lots of people from Mexico want to be more white than white people from the United States. I'm wondering, is this true in your experiences in Mexico? I'm curious as well. Then he says, there's no Mexican race, and it's silly when they say my race. Mexico is full of Indians who hate their blackness, but wish they were white. You can't trust people who hate themselves. They go out to find white guys or lighter skin complexion people to have babies so they can claim to be Spanish. I live with these people and listen to how sick they are. Spaniards were a mixed group and weren't all white, but people of Mexico are ignorant of that fact, which I do agree in. Being ignorant, it just means that you're not aware. And it's not direct. That part's not directed to you. It's just, he's just speaking in general. And I know as well, a lot of people from northern Mexico, which are from Tijuana and places close, they don't even think blacks exist in Mexico. So a lot of people here, especially in Tijuana, are very unaware or ignorant when it comes to the culture and history out here too, though, which is not bad. You know, they just don't know about certain things in Mexico. All right, so what else does he say? Okay, they think curly hair isn't African. Curvy shapes aren't African. Food isn't African, like rice, yams, and etc. or adobo or whatnot. Then he just goes on, but yeah, the main question or the main point of it was, does the more European looking women, or just in general the more European people in Mexico, do they really embrace and want to mimic the white people in the United States more than the whites in the United States themselves? What do you think about that? What is your opinion on that?
I think he has a bit of a problem with Mexican people, and I don't know what type of experiences he had, but I don't think so. I mean, if you ever come over, you should definitely come over to Parral, Chihuahua, for example. You'll definitely find, I don't consider myself white, and definitely would never even say I'm a white Mexican. No, I'm not. Like I said before, like I've told you before, people around here are even whiter than me, and a lot more taller than me. So I definitely don't consider myself white. But yeah, I mean, like I said, my mother is from Mexico City. Our complexion and our features are different. But if you ever come over, like for example here in Chihuahua, you will never find any Mexican people trying to be white. I mean, girls dye their hair blonde just because they like it. But they're not just trying to be like you as citizens. I've noticed, like, around here in this neighborhood, many houses look really like the houses they have back in the States. But it's not that they're trying to be like them. They're trying to have that same comfort. So in appearance or in people, I mean, girls are just the way they are. And if you ever come around, you'll find really white people, really white-looking people that don't even care. I mean, they don't even notice that. I mean, like I said before, they call themselves güeritos, güeras, but they're never calling themselves out, oh, I'm white. No, they're not. And there's other, like these type of Mexicans that, yeah, some of them don't want to be really tan, and there's a whole bunch of people like that all around the world that try to look different. Even in Asia and Japan, many girls want to look really white. Some of them bleach their skin. I mean, that's not only about Mexico, and that's all around the world. Like, even, I've seen Asian girls, like, putting really circled contact lenses to make their eyes look bigger and putting a whole bunch of fake eyelashes and doing all sorts of stuff. And that's not only about Mexicans trying to look white. I mean, any person from around the world can't have that desire of being white. And the people that really have that color here, like in Mexico, they're not like, oh, I'm white. No, well, not the people I've met or not the people that I know around here. And I know it's kind of hard to understand the diversity they have here in Mexico. Like I said, Menonitas are not considered Mexicans, like true, authentic Mexicans, because they actually immigrated here from Germany and from Canada and from other parts of the world, and they live here. They actually don't mix with some other, like, Mexican people around here. They are born here in Mexico, they are raised here in Mexico, but they're considered Menonitas. So, just like Tarahumaras, or just like any other people around there. And the actual, I'll send you pictures of the people that come in my store with those specific European-looking people. I mean, they don't really care. You'll see them walking just normal. There is sick people around there that are trying to change their parents and trying to change their hair color and their eyes and all sorts of stuff. But that's completely fake. I think he has a bit of an issue with that. That's why he's making all those comments. He might probably have an issue with Mexican people, and that's completely wrong. And they're not indigenous. I mean, he probably needs to learn a little bit more from our cultures, and we have many of them. So, and every one of them is completely different from one another. Like I said before, Tarahumaras are completely different to the ones that speak Nahuatl, and Zapotecos are a lot different from Tarahumaras, and etc. I mean, they all have this little difference, and I think people are constantly making these offensive comments about indigenous people that have tan skin. I don't know if you noticed in my picture, but my cousin was right in back of me. The picture you uploaded, my cousin is right in back of me, and he has this really tan, beautiful skin. And I mean, color shouldn't even matter. And he doesn't have an issue because he's tan. I don't have an issue because I'm a little bit lighter. I mean, no one really cares. There is actually lots of sick people all around the world. So just let the guy clear his mind. This is not only about Mexicans. This is about the world. Asians, people in the U.S. also, and I don't know. I mean, it just. Well, I know. I think he has an issue with that. I really don't like those type of comments, but you really have to know before you speak. You really have to go around, talk to people, go over to Guadalajara, go over to Chihuahua, go travel to other states of Mexico, visit their people, visit the way they live, the way they talk, the way their culture is. And let me tell you, even if you go to another town 3 hours away from here, like where I live, there's another small town, you'll see a big difference. I mean, people have a big difference all over, but that doesn't mean we don't belong to the same country. We share that same.
It is very different for a lot of people that never touched Mexico's soil out here. You know, like when I first moved out here, I was very ignorant, or I was very unaware of the color spectrum and everything else when it comes to culture. But again, a lot of people from the USA, they're not aware of the culture and what has happened in the past with Mexico's history. But because we're not taught that in the United States, you know, we don't focus really and mainly on other countries. You know, we're too busy in school studying from our U.S. history books, and tampoco estudian world history, you know, and who even remembers everything we learned in world history. But again, we really focus on, you know, the specific country that we're in or whatnot to an extent. But yeah, a lot of people are ignorant though, and they do need to at least touch the soil before they speak upon it and things like that. But yeah, that's how I look at it too though. But again, the first white girl that I met out here, you know, she had sky blue eyes, blonde hair, you know, and she was very white complexioned like you know, but she was a little bit taller. And, you know, she had a body of a black girl. What I mean by black girl, I mean nalgas buenas, muy chichona, ¿me entiendes? And things like that. But she was from Guadalajara, which are a lot of European-looking people are from, you know, Jalisco, but in Monterrey and Sinaloa. But, you know, I know a little bit about the history out there, too, when the Europeans and the Colombians migrated out there to those certain parts. But, yeah, I kind of know what you mean. But then again, where he's coming from, you know, he's coming from an unaware perspective to an extent as well. But, shit, I'm still learning. I don't know. For all of you guys out there, too, though, man, you hearing it from her first, and, you know, she's a native to that land out there, just like she said, Chihuahua. What's happening, Chihuahua?
Another thing that I want to make this clear, here in Mexico, we have not only had Spanish colonizers coming here. We also had French people. We fight against them. Or if you look back in history, Mexico had a war, the revolution between people from France and Mexico, and they won the war, and that's why they call it La Batalla de Puebla. And if you go back in history, you'll notice that there has been a lot of people coming from the UK, putting here big companies like the ones that invented popcorn came from I don't know where, but people from certain parts of Europe have come to Mexico. Even Canadian people nowadays live here in Mexico, and they are mixing each other with our native Mexican people. I mean, what's the issue? Mexico has a big variety of people, and this is because people are immigrating and people are moving and people are just moving around the world. I mean, Mexico has this diversity because we've got people from all parts. I mean, from all parts of the world. We've got lots of Asians. There's actually a little Asian boy that goes to my daughter's kindergarten, and they go together, and he speaks, I don't know if Chinese, I don't know what the hell he speaks, but he speaks some Asian language and Spanish, and he's learning English, and he's going to school with my daughter. And he was born here in Mexico. Come on, I mean, well, when he grows up, he'll probably get married with someone around here, I don't know, and they'll have kids, half Asian, half Mexican. And this is not only about Spaniards coming here to Mexico. We have a big mixture of people, including my family. If you take a look in my family, most of my family has really tan skin. And my other half of my family from my dad's side is completely different. I mean, what's the matter with that? We're all a mixture of not only indigenous and Spaniards. We are a mixture of a whole bunch of people. I mean, now in 2017, people are just crazy. I mean, they're just a mixture of all types of colors and features and cultures, and I mean, my friends around here in Chihuahua, I have friends that live in other countries, in the U.S., friends that come from other parts of the world. I mean, just here where I live, like my friend Jamal Fainton, he's from the U.S., he is black, and he can literally come over and get married with one of my friends. Like, he had a girlfriend here, and I mean, what would happen, like you said before, chocolate and vanilla will make caramel. I mean, obviously, and that descendants will definitely have a different view, because that little newborn baby will have half Mexican, half African American, a little bit of European, a little bit of indigenous. I mean, come on. This world, not only the United States, but Mexico, and go a little bit further south, you'll see there's a big mixture of people. So, I mean, people can be completely different to one another, and it doesn't really matter where they are from. That's like I said before, humans are equal. And color, race, or country, or whatever. It shouldn't even matter. That's like one of the reasons I decided to speak English. Because I didn't want people to think that Mexicans only speak Spanish. Because we don't only speak Spanish. We speak Nahuatl. We speak Zapoteco. We speak Maya. We speak a whole bunch of languages here. And I mean, learning, like I said before, language, it always opens a door to another world. You get to know people from another place and from another culture. I'm learning German right now, and it's really interesting when I get to talk with some German friends that I don't understand that much, but I try to translate most of the things they tell me, and I know that they have a different point of view and how they see the world and everything. They're a bit, well, yeah, they are different, but it doesn't mean we are not equal. And I want people to be treated equally. I mean, that's what I don't like about people, that they're constantly making this difference when they shouldn't even matter. And from my own experience, learning has opened that door to knowing people and letting them know that we're equal. I mean, if I'm able to speak English being a Mexican, you're able to speak Spanish being a U.S. citizen. And if you are from China, from Russia, and you're able to speak your own native language, you're able to speak any other language in the world, and you're able to hang around with a whole bunch of people that are completely different to you, but we share one thing in common: we are all humans. And I mean, people should try to understand that. And I know people might think, oh, she's trying to be white. No, I'm not. I guess I really hate it when people try to make that view about me, that I'm whiter, that I'm not whiter. I mean, I truly don't care about that. And it's beautiful. I think every people in every color, it's beautiful. Well, that guy, he's completely wrong. He's really wrong. He should look back in history. We have a lot of things going on in every country. There are a lot of things that people don't even know. And yeah, there's a lot of ignorance here around. And even I consider myself an ignorant. There's a lot of things we don't know. And that's why we should learn. And that's why we should motivate ourselves to have more skills and try to prepare ourselves to